to Hot Flashes and Cool Topics, a podcast for women in midlife and beyond. At Hot Flashes and Cool Topics, we talk about anything and everything to do with midlife. My name is Bridget.
And I'm Colleen.
And today we have the second part of our interview with Mindy Cohn that you probably know from Facts of Life is Natalie Green, also the voice of Velma on Scooby-Doo in the 2000s. And she also has a new movie out that is on Apple, and it is A Nice Girl Like You. And it's
a podcast.
Really, yes, and a podcast, Mondays with Mindy, not with Mindy's. There's not.
I said mornings with Mindy's.
It's Mondays. And I really enjoy listening to her guest and listening to how she does her podcast, and Christian Brusha, her producer. We want to steal, but I'm sure we can't afford him. But because he's just, her voice is so great, and so is his.
And she's so genuine and authentic that it comes across.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And what we like about it with Mondays with Mindy is that it's talking about the creative process. Like, she's such a creative person that she was in the pandemic. She needed that outlet, and she was like, I'm going to start a podcast, and I'm going to talk to other creatives about their process. Mm-hmm. So it's just really interesting because she can bring anybody on.
It is. Just to hear, and it also, I forgot to bring this up when we were talking to her, but when you hear the creative people that she brings on, mm-hmm. and they talk about what happened or their journey, and some of them have gone through some tribulations, some things mm-hmm. that things weren't always easy for them, but that they persevered, and that they've succeeded in what they do. And I feel like it just is so helpful for people who are struggling and they want to get their work out there, whatever their work might be, whether it's a designer or someone that does artwork or someone that's in acting, just to hear that they still kept going, that right. some of them have hit, really low lows, but they rose back up. And it's so nice not to feel alone and to feel, look, this person made it through a struggle, so that might help me make it through a struggle. So that's, I got that from a lot of her interviews as well.
Right. And by the time this is obviously our second episode, but her second season started earlier this month. So mm-hmm. she's got a whole new set of people, including Kim Fields. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could get both of them on to talk?
I
can't even stand it. Like, I don't know if I can actually, hot flash.
I just got a hot flash thinking about that. I mean, I would have, it's so funny just what life brings or whatever. But as a child, I would have never dreamed that I would have ever actually had a conversation with her, and not trying to fangirl too much or anything.
No, but just to, be open to possibilities,
yes.
Like, because when I said to my husband, I'm interviewing Mindy Cohn, he's like, Natalie?
Yeah.
Yes. It's like bringing your, she is one of us. She's right. in the midlife group. She has a lot to say about it. Mm-hmm. And, just go for it, people. You never know in life who you're going to meet, who you're going to connect with.
And there is probably something that you have in your life that is going to be helpful to someone else.
Share it.
Whatever, just sharing it is any way that you want to do it. If you want to do a podcast, you want to write a blog, you want to contribute to a podcast as a guest.
Contribute and or sponsor.
Or sponsor a podcast, but anything that you want, there is probably something in your life that you could share with someone else that's going to help them. Right. And you're just going to make your life richer because you're going to meet great people. So
exactly. So Speaking of great people, we are mm-hmm. going to let Mindy's conversation continue. We're going to try not to fangirl too hard.
I know. Yeah.
And we will see you after the end of this interview. Welcome back to Hot Flashes and Cool Topics. We are into season 2. Yes, Bridget, we survived season 1.
I can't believe it.
It's just amazing. When we pressed record a year ago, we had no idea.
It took us 8 hours to do our intro.
It did. And we wanted to start season 2 with a bang. So we invited a very, very, very special woman who graciously accepted our invitation, Miss Mindy Cohn. Hello, Mindy.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yes. Who we grew up with, and know all my friends grew up with you.
And we are all the same
Yes.
age.
Yes, yeah, it is fantastic. I can't believe I'm actually a little bit fangirling, and I'm sorry that I'm actually
don't
talking
apologize.
to you.
That's so darling.
Hot
Thank
flash
you.
stop starting.
Hot flash, thus the name. But
Okay, you
yeah.
can't. Okay, fan.
Oh yes. Oh, she's
Man, right here.
And mine went away. Now I've got a jacket on, so
Right
I'm
over there.
freezing upstairs. So
Okay, yes.
So
yes,
okay.
yeah.
for the 2 people listening under a rock that did not know about the facts of life, because everyone knows about the facts of life, you played Natalie Green, which I love the story, and we're going to get into all of your life. But first, we want to say, wow, congratulations on your own podcast, Mondays with Mindy.
Thank you. It was, again, started out of this time, this weird time. And the one thing that I was really missing was talking with, my life is chock full of fellow creatives of all kinds. And that's how I stay optimistic and inspired. And that's the only thing that was missing from my daily stay-at-home life. And my friend Christian Brescia, the tech genius that he is.
We want one.
We want.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a Christian in their life, by the way. And that sounded really weird. Okay. Or a Jew or an Islam.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, he's just so darling and technically put us in a place where it looks like we've been around forever. And we were shooting, you know, going by the seat of our pants as well. When you start, I think everybody does. If someone tells you different,
definitely.
I think he's lying.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able to have conversations with people who've been in my life for a long time, but we never really had these kind of conversations about what it's like to just be a creative in this world now and forever, and what inspires you. And so yippee, it's been
And you've
it's
had
been
some
taking a
great
chance.
guests. I mean, your first show was with your best friends, which was very smart.
Yes.
And then you've had Isaac Mizrahi, you've had Lucy Hale, who
Yes.
co-hosts with you on a show that went on demand recently in July, correct?
Yes.
It was a movie, yes, called A Nice Girl Like You. So I had her and my other co-star, Jackie Cruz. And my season 2 will also have a little Facts of Life flavor. We are launching our season 2 with Kim Fields.
Okay, so we're listening.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
in podcast world.
Well, what I love on your podcast, and I know a lot of your guests have been really good friends of yours. You can tell just through your conversation that you are a fierce friend, not like fierce, loyal friend. Like, I'm like, oh, she is a great friend to the people in her life.
I appreciate that so much because, you know, before it became a gay term, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I always considered my friends my family of choice. I come from a really great family, but it's small. And it's really basically just my parents, my sister, and a couple cousins. And I knew early on, I do not want to like be on this planet by myself and traversing this amazing adventure on my own. And as soon as I didn't get married at 19, the way that my parents did, I said, just in case, let me get, you know, my committee. And so, you know, the greatest gift that's been with this podcast, I have to say, is to really kind of see all my friends in all their glory and realize what magnificent people I have in my life, which I know, but I, you know, viscerally, you kind of get to know on a deeper level when they show up and go, of course, we're going to talk to you for a half hour about anything. So.
And it comes through. So
and you've been friends with them a long time too. It's not, I mean, you seem to have a real history with the people that you brought on.
Yes. And I you know, even people who have just been in my life for the last, you know, 5 or 6 years, there's a whole New York contingency that has sort of been reborn from my 20s. We've all refound each other, or they're new in my life through friends who've been around forever. I think when you are our age, and I don't get personal, but my age is everywhere. So I'm 54, just turned 54.
I'm 53, Bridget's 52.
I'm almost 53. Yeah.
You young. Okay. you find that it's, I don't collect people. So you either have a connection with someone or you don't. And at this age, when you meet someone, and I'm hoping it's going to be like that with my future husband, I think at our age, you just kind of know. It's like, okay, there you are. Lovely. Like, come.
Right.
So, yeah, it's definitely not this adolescent, I have a crush on you, or I want to be with the popular girls, whatever the hell all our issues are. That kind of drops away.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely?
Very amazing. And we were going to pivot a little bit too. And so in 2012, you were, is that right? You were was it 2012 when you were diagnosed with breast cancer?
I'm nodding.
I'm
nodding.
Yeah, she's nodding.
It's a long story. I had other kinds of cancer before. I mean,
okay.
I'm just really private about it. And truly, I did that People magazine story for 2 reasons. Now y'all will know really who I am. I did it because I wanted to promote the boys in the farm.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So I didn't want to do it just alone. And I just said, can I promote the farm? And of course, Brent and Josh were like, yes, you can. And that was 1. And 2 was that I think there's so many other better, different survivor stories. Mine was not needed, but I think there was, from an industry standpoint, my agent said, there sort of needs to be a reason you haven't been working for 7 years. Right. And it wasn't just the breast cancer. It was the years leading up to that was my final sort of part of what I call the ordeal. It was 7 years of not working and being sick. And it was my thing, and I guess, I don't call myself a survivor because I think we're all survivors. I have friends who have survived multiple miscarriages. I don't know if I would have walked through that as gracefully as they have. I think we're given what we're given, and this was mine. And so to say I don't know, it does not resonate with me. With everyone else who likes that and it affirms them, great. Right. For me, it doesn't, because I just think people have survived many worse things than I have. But for me, I call it the ordeal, and it kept giving. And it was a real test of my faith, my character. I fell in love with myself because I really saw strength that I didn't think I had. I had to deal with some financial issues that were really hard. And I know I was not alone, but my friends, when I started sharing, were just like, I don't know why this is so secret. I said, I know, it's like sex used to be. It's like you can't talk about money with people. It's like too sensitive, too personal. And I just went, here's what's happening. I have to downsize and I have to do this and do that and whatever it is. And so many of my friends have been through it quietly because they were ashamed or humiliated. And I guess because I had a disease attached to mine, there was somehow I shouldn't feel embarrassed or ashamed or humiliated. And I was, it's hard, right? So I just wanted to be vocal on that front, that you don't have to be out loud about it, but this was mine. What's yours? What's your ordeal then? How are you doing?
Right. Because we all do have ordeals, and they're just different ones.
That's it. And I feel I wanted that message out there. And so this is where I've been. Okay. Ready for my comeback tour. And I do have to say, and I will admit this is not a cute look, but I definitely thought after this, I was like, okay, bring it on. Where's my husband? Where's my job? Where's my fortune? Like, I deserve the cash and prizes. I've been through this. I think a lot of people who survive something feel that way. It's like, okay, I'm ready for mine. And it's like, it didn't come. And it was just like, no, Mindy, this is just where you are. And it's good. And you have all your parts, as my mom would like to say. All your parts. Everything's working. You're healthy. You have us. You have your friends. You have a root. All of that stuff that's real. I just think that was the most beautiful lesson and gift that I got from it. And that's what I want to pass on to people. Not so much how you get through breast cancer. There's better storytellers that can tell you their experience with that for sure.
Yeah. I've listened to your podcast and how your friends, the people at the farm, how they were your friends. Yeah. That just, I was like, they just sound like the best people. Like, I think when I listen to your show in general, but especially them, I'm like, what great people to come in.
They made me cry all the time. Yeah, because they really showed up for me.
Yeah.
Just being themselves. They didn't do anything extra except open the door and say, why don't you come here and heal? And why don't you come to the farm? And Brent's a doctor. He's got it.
Yes.
Should anything arise? And like, just that generosity, you know? And like you said, it goes back to friendship. You know, I do know that about myself. I'm very generous. And I do think that's what we look for in people, right? Right. That we want to be close to, that generosity of spirit. So yes, I mean, they saved my life, truly.
Yeah. Yeah. And in more ways, physically, and it sounds like mentally as well. Yes. And I think that the lesson there was just having, just like you just said again, having a friend like that in your life. And then a lesson too, if that happens to someone you love, to open the door for someone that you love. Yeah.
That's it. When people always ask, like, I never know what to do. I never know what to say when someone gets really sick or dies. And it's like, show up. Period. That's it. You don't have to say anything.
Just be there.
Yes. That really is the lesson I've learned. And I just, yes.
Seems like you came out of that with a deeper love for yourself too, a deeper appreciation for yourself.
Yes. Listen, I have roles in places I used to not have roles.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I am like a cow. I have 2 stomachs. They have 4, but I mean, I have 2 instead of 1. So there's like 2 rolls instead of 1. It's like, happy 50th birthday, Mindy. It's like I woke up with bags under my eyes and a second roll.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
But you know, it's I wear my body like a loose garment. You know, it's comfortable. And I can improve it or just be in it, but I just wear everything so lightly. You know, if I want to take it off, the weight or the mole or the gray hair, you fix it, you do it. But really just to know that this is what we're here with, and it's going to age and do all kinds of really weird things. And I just choose to be fascinated by it.
going back to the medical that you love.
I'm just gonna, you know, there's humor in it and there's acceptance in it instead of being horrified. It's a choice. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. I don't mean to like make light of all the doctors that y'all have, but really it is about that. It's just today I'm gonna make a choice to just not worry about it. You know,
but I love that.
Worry about it. You know,
I love that you say that you wear it loosely. That's such a great visual because it's true. It's like we don't have to be so critical of every spot, every mark, just wear it lightly. I love that.
And I do that with feelings too. My anxiety or my, you know, nervousness, or if I'm afraid of something or I'm mad, I just really remind myself to just wear it loosely. Don't be defined by it. It's just wear it. And then when you're done with it, you just take it off, you know, and it just is as simple as that, really.
Was that a lesson that you learned as you got older, or did you always believe that?
As I got older, but I do have to say, I don't know what everyone believes in, past lives, or you've been around a few times, but I do feel, you know, 90, and in very weird ways. I also, in other ways, I'm a 14-year-old boy, you know, I'm still horny as hell. I'm still like an impulse shopper, impulse control, like on that front, right? I get very, very excited, very easily, you know, so in those ways, I'm still a 14-year-old boy, you know, but in other ways, I've always been 90. And I've had, my mentors were 40 years my senior. And they came to me and we were all kind of a coven for a while until they started to pass away. And these women, I saw what was ahead of me and I liked it. You know, I liked, it was exciting to me that my career, that my relationships, the world, travel, whatever you're into, you know, it's exciting to get older. I mean, truly, it really is. I mean, I am excited by it. Nothing terrifies. I do think that's what the cancer did. Nothing terrifies me too badly. No one wants to feel bad. No one wants pain. But outside of that, I do know that whatever comes my way, there's a solution to it, and to go forward into it. Don't get nervous about it.
You had mentioned still you want to get married. That never happened. Did you get close a couple of times?
I have gotten close. Yes. I've gotten close. You know, I am attracted to drug addicts and alcoholics and they love me right back. You know, and that's the problem. You know, if they didn't love me right back, I would have maybe been saved. And I have been in Al-Anon, which is Friends and Family of Alcoholics, I'm now going to be 24 years old on Labor Day. That's my Al-Anon birthday. A lot of that is my disposition, I always call it my assets gone amok, right? My generosity and my giving nature can quickly become, my dad said the cutest thing to me one time. I mean, it wasn't cute when he was saying it, but he said, you can make the most earnest guy a user. Because you give and you give and you give, and then people start to expect it, and they lose their manners. Like they forget it's a feedback loop, and you deserve, and and so I do have to say my 50th birthday wish was to be a better receiver in every way. And yes, you can take that in every
however you want to take it.
However you want to take it.
Yes.
Truly, to receive as much as I've given to the world, that the world gives back to me. And I've never really been good on that B side. I'm really good on that A side, but the B side of that record, for all you,
not so much.
There used to be records.
Right. Don't worry, they're not listening to our podcast.
The B side has been to do that, and it's hard for me. It's counterintuitive, truly. It's work. Yes. I mean, listen, to be 54 and never had an ever, never have I ever been married. I find that very exciting. I find that, how lucky am I that at my age there is going to be another first. We're mostly out of first, girls, right?
Yeah, we are pretty
much, right?
Little bit.
Colleen's
little bit. And so I actually find it very exciting that there is a first yet. Awaiting
That's true. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to meet him. First of all, he's going to be adorable, but also just like, what have you been doing? Where have you been?
Where have you been? Where have you been?
TikTok.
Colleen, you talk to Randy, I'll talk to John.
We'll set you up.
Yeah, we're going to have to find him.
Yes.
I come from a Jewish culture. I did not have a Jewish mother or a Jewish grandmother where they,
Yeah.
Right.
You a find. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, does he have to be a nice Jewish boy? Because
I've never, only one out of my boyfriends has been a nice Jewish boy. Others have been nice Irish Catholics, nice Christians. Yes, I am at this age. I think it's the man, not
siblings. That's other stuff. It doesn't seem as important.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yes. Listen, I'm open. I'm
like, I'm gonna have to talk to my husband because they haven't been at work because they're
that's true.
Zoom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who at your office does this?
And it seems like you've mothered every one of your friends, so you kind of had the mothering thing as well because you took care of so many people.
Say, yes, when everyone says you will make a great mother, you would have made a great mother, I said, well, absolutely, and I have mothered many of my friends' children as well. So again, that's much of my private life that I keep very private, but I've had children. I have literally raised children. And it's not known, and that's fine because I don't need that. They know, those kids know that I have, and I'm good with that. And yes, so that, I never wanted to be, and again, I'm not poo-pooing, never wanted to be a single mother. I always wanted to meet a man I wanted to have children with. That's just how I grew up, how I feel. And so never for one day on this planet have I wanted to be a single mother. So that I don't feel that I've missed anything in that regard, right? What I've missed was meeting someone that sort of, window closed as far as age appropriate. And so there wasn't even sadness about it. It was just kind of a milestone. And what's so fascinating is all of my granny's fears about being a spinster have wildly become true. But, I have so many friends who've never been married or are divorced with no children. Like so many more girls than I would have thought in my 20s I would have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're really not this exclusive little group. There's really a lot of them that are in my life, or that I know of. And so, well, yes, it's odd. And sometimes it's, I mean, especially during this time in the pandemic, you know, I don't know, you know, you hear about all these, instead of all these COVID babies, it's COVID divorces.
The babies will be another 3 or 4 months.
You know, no one was doing it. You know, they were all just like, why did I marry you? But there, you know, I do have lonely times where I want that, obviously.
Right.
But I also just, again, I guess it goes back to my faith factor, that I just have faith that it's not my timetable, and he's coming, he's on his way, and it'll be wonderful, and something to look forward to, and it will happen to me. I don't need to go out and find it. You know, that's just also how I live. I think that's also been post-cancer. You know, the best things in my life, Colleen and Bridget, have come to me. They have come to me. I have not gotten them. I've not grabbed for it. I've been there to say yes, but they've come to me. Facts of life, the people in my life, everything wonderful has come to me. And I continue to believe that. I think if we all lived a little bit more like that, there'd be less anxiety and stress in the world, truly. I think we just have this misunderstanding that we have to make it happen.
Yeah.
And like the instant gratification, it's got to happen now. Now.
Yeah. So I have my Veruca moments, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I want it now. Yes.
Exactly.
It doesn't. But
yeah.
I mean, part, I do remind myself that, Mindy, just be patient, which is not my virtue. The best things in my life have come to me. So I think that includes my husband to be.
I think it, and I think it's something about you.
Wait to see who it is.
I think it's something about you too, because I think it's, I don't know, it's something about your aura or your personality.
You just have a wonderful joy of life.
I think you do. You do.
And
you can hear it. I know that when Colleen and I were like, we really love to have her on our show. And I was listening to your podcast and I'm like, she sounds so good. Oh my gosh, her voice. Oh, it's so good. We're going to sound awful next to her. But you're so, it was like, did you? Oh, Colleen.
And then I go over and smack Bridget and go, Bridget, relax.
Although she hasn't.
Fabulous.
She hasn't seen me since March. I mean, even though I waved to her through the door, we're doing this through Zoom, but you know,
we wave. You do what you have to do.
Yeah, we drop things off at our door and wave.
Yes. What are you looking forward to over the next these 50s? This decade.
This decade, tons of travel is my most favorite thing.
Oh, yes,
what I spend all of my money on. I just think that's, I want to literally travel the world and go a second time if I can. 8 shows a week is my dream, to be on Broadway. So that's definitely an aspiration of mine. Work, play, I hope my parents are around for at least another 10 years. I need them to stay around. They're my favorite people on the planet. And this has been really hard this time. And whatever's next, I mean, I'm excited and looking forward to all the things that I don't know are coming my way.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And we really want our listeners to hear that it doesn't matter the age number. There's still so much to look forward to. And there
will be surprises, 100%.
Yes. I don't think, my life has never turned out the way I pictured it, but I'm not disappointed. I've never been disappointed, but it's not exactly what I pictured back when I was whatever. And that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You create it.
Yeah.
We wanted to ask you a few quick questions to think
Absolutely.
of. You start with them on your show.
You start with them on yours.
It's to be a tangential Trudy, by the way.
I loved it.
Do it.
What would people be surprised to know about you?
That I'm an introvert.
Oh, I am. That is surprising.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Okay. That is surprising.
I have a second one.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
There's no limit.
What people I think are surprised, not just me, but with Kim, Nancy, and Lisa, is they all think that we have friends money or millionaires because the show is still on, but we do not get residuals. And
I
think
saw that.
are always so shocked and think that we don't work because we don't want to or have to, or that somehow we're sitting on this pile of dough. And it's like, while we all made wonderful money when we were doing it, that was, girls, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just think a lot of people have that misconception. I'd like to blow that one out of the water.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. So Floor went that.
No,
is that
the
still
law,
the case?
the law changed 5 years into Facts of Life contract. So in the mid 80s, the negotiations were with the unions that there would be residuals and substantial residuals, not just for the writers and producers who were getting them for their scripts and their work, but the actors would. So that got fixed, which is why all of these newer sitcoms, right? The actors are just millions upon millions, and deservedly so.
Right.
But also all of the ones before deserve it too.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And don't they hit a certain number of episodes and then they know they're going to go into syndication and that's what they're shooting for?
Well, I think the first time Facts of Life sold into syndication was something like 140 million. Then it sold again for 150, and then it sold again for 125 million. And so I think there's been 2 more after that. So we saw none of that. That all went to producers.
So I was going to say, who's getting the money for the work that you did?
The producer. And what's interesting is then, you know, as an actor, you're sort of pigeonholed as that character. You're known as her, which we're all very proud of. None of us have a weird feeling about being recognized or related, but it does sort of, it would have been nice to be financially compensated. If we have to live with these characters this long, it'd be nice to be compensated for it. And I think now actors are, and it's wonderful that they are. I mean, truly.
And I had wanted to ask you about typecasting because I wanted to know if it was difficult. I know you did voiceover work as Velma, which is awesome because I heard voiceover work is wonderful too. But did you get kind of pigeonholed and would go out for an audition and they'd be like, Natalie's here?
Well, I wouldn't even get in the rooms. So that's still my issue. It's so fascinating because my dream is to have my version of Misery, right?
Oh,
that psychotic. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Listen, she's in there and she ain't that deep in. Like, so, you know, but again, I choose to see it as something that, you know, I can still blow the pants off people if given the opportunity, and it's coming. And, you know, I think all actors are typecast. My friend Diane Lane, amazing actress. She was this ingenue and then this leading lady. And now, as she will tell you happily, I'm Superman's mom. And that was an adjustment for her. You know, those were big adjustments for her. Do I want a career? Do I want to be a star? I want a career. I'm an actor. So I got to, you know, and we all do that. I call it tacking. I use a little sailor term. Like, you got to tack and just sort of say yes to what comes to you. And then there are people who will give me that opportunity. I just know it at some point, whether it's a casting director or a producer. At some point it'll happen. And it could be on stage. Who knows?
Yeah.
So you would love to do Broadway?
Oh, yes.
Any particular character on Broadway?
Anything, anyone, anytime. Yeah, that's really my ambition. I would like to die on stage. I mean, but like, I would like to be one of those great old dames on the stage.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome.
Sure.
And that's a lot of work too. So
that's a lot.
8 shows a week is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it would be great. I think you should be. So
I saw,
I could just a few years.
I've been off, but I like the schedule. Like, it's where I'm supposed to be for sure. That is where I will end up 100%.
So you see yourself moving to New York in the future?
I do. I will grow old in New York. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will definitely, unless I'm married and he lives somewhere else.
but New York's awesome.
In New York.
New York's awesome.
Would you or have you ever dated would you date an actor and have you dated an actor? I'm sure you have at this point.
I have dated an actor and I would not want to marry a famous actor.
Okay.
And have not for very good reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
a heartbreak story that stays private. But yeah, sure, you know, it's just like, I don't want that life. I just don't.
I think it
Don't
would be
blame.
hard. I think it would be
It
hard.
is hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen it up close numerous times, and it's hard. It's ridiculous. I think the equivalent of it is being president and first lady, or being, just known.
Right.
Everywhere you went, somebody would know you everywhere you went, and that would be so hard to go under the radar there, I think. Just privacy.
Have a private life.
Right.
And you've been very successful in keeping the majority of your life private. I mean, obviously you're
I work hard at it.
It must be so much harder now, though, because everyone.
Well, to me, I've always, Jim Carrey said it best, which is, to me, and he didn't say this part. This is a Mindy part. The Mindy part is, I just think the wealthier you are, or the more famous you are, or the more gifts you have, that's much cooler you have to be. And this is the Jim Carrey part. Jim Carrey says, if I'm not in the mood to get recognized or someone to come up to me and I'm going to be okay, I need to stay home. That's his.
Wow.
And I love when he said that. I thought it was just so smart, because, you've been given these gifts, and if you're having a hard day and you don't feel like having a smile on your face, stay home. Have your assistant go get the groceries. Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? I just think you owe it to people. If you put a smile on their face or they know you, it's just part of what you have to and should deal with. Wow. And if you don't deal with it well, you either need to move, like a lot of successful people who are famous move to Wyoming or Montana or upstate New York. There's places to go.
Or just outside Nashville, which is
where we are.
Yeah. Well, my friend Tracy Bregman just moved. Where did she move to?
We live in Franklin.
We live in Franklin, near Brentwood.
I think that might be it.
We do have. Yeah.
Well, we were told when we moved here.
Pardon me? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
When we first moved here, Bridget and I both moved here about 5 years ago. We didn't realize that there is a code in Franklin that when the stars come in, I didn't know she realized. You're not allowed to acknowledge them at all. So
I just think that's stupid.
Right. So when Nicole Kidman is here.
On one hand, if they're your neighbor, you want them to have a life and you don't want to be intrusive, and it's called manners, but to absolutely not go up to someone and go, oh, love your work, or, oh, I'm so thrilled to meet you. I just think is asinine.
Oh, you can't do it here. It's a big taboo. When Miley Cyrus comes for lunch, or Nicole Kidman is getting a smoothie, you're not allowed to come
and I'm going to do it.
Oh, they'll die. They'll die. The whole neighborhood would
I'm
die.
going to come and do it.
But now, actually, Miley was great. Like, little kids came up, and she was great. And my niece actually waited on her at the restaurant, and she was great. And like, my niece had to cart her. Like I said, I had to ask for her ID, and so. But actually, I think she was great. But I think it's kind of like a Nashville thing. Like they kind of said that
they moved here so that they would not be acknowledged, and
but it's true. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There are places if they wanted to live in LA or New York and deal with that, they would. They so I validate that. I mean, I think that's really a real thing.
It's just like, how often are you going to get to see them? So you're like, but I just want to tell you I enjoyed.
I grew up in Kentucky. You never saw them in Kentucky unless you're at the Derby. That was it.
Okay, so that may be the new go-to place.
Everybody's moving to Louisville.
Okay, exodus to Kentucky.
Yeah, my sister has a farm, so I'll have to let you know about that.
So we'll all go.
Yes, we'll all go to her flower farm. Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever been to come up and visit me at the farm up at?
Oh. I looked that up.
You don't have to ask us twice.
Oh my goodness.
It's a magical place. It's truly magical.
I've got to order their products.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Oh, I can't.
Have you ever been starstruck? Or would you be starstruck? Who has made you starstruck?
Well, I was having dinner with Cloris Leachman, and Lucille Ball came up to our table, and I almost pooped my pants.
Yeah.
Tell them I actually remember this story. Tell them what she said to you.
She said that Kim and I, she says, you and that Tootie remind me of me and Viv.
Oh,
that's
like to have Lucille Ball say that to you.
Right.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. But I am starstruck at, not so much TV and movie actors, believe it or not, but authors, musicians, Broadway actors, I gotta say. I mean, athletes, anybody that does something live at excellence, I'm in awe of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's mostly I get starstruck over people's work, not over how famous they are.
Right.
So I've been starstruck over someone that y'all probably wouldn't even recognize. You know what I'm saying? But I know.
Right. But you know them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the time.
No, I met the author of Where the Crawdads Sing this year. And I just, Delia, what's her last name? Owens? I can't remember her last name right now. But I was like, I just read the book and I was like shaking. I was so excited.
And I was like, Bridget, did you ask her to come on the show? And she was like, I couldn't even put two words together.
I was like, oh no.
I have to say, you guys will be surprised if you just outreach to people, how many people will say yes.
You know what? We're discovering that. Just ask.
Just
you
ask.
know?
Yeah.
I reached out to you and I was like, Bridget, she said yes.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Of course. You know why it's so great? These live in infamy.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're promoting something or you've talked about something, I don't know. I think it's great. I just ask.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we will, because we would love to have you on again.
Yes. Yes.
Anytime, you guys.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Just
Love getting to
so
know you.
when is season 2 of Mondays? I almost said mornings with Mindy. Mondays with Mindy coming on?
We're going to debut our first episode on Labor Day Monday. So I believe that's September 7th with Kim Fields. That'll be that episode. And we were already, so that's what we learned from season 2, from season 1. I don't know if y'all made this mistake. We did. We were going week to week.
Oh yeah, we learned that.
Oh my God, because no one tells you anything. And so I was doing all the research and, producing the show, and then Christian had 2 days to edit it, and it was just stupid. So we have started to pre-record. Hi, hello. I've only been in this business 45 years. So, yes, we now have shows in the can, so there is not this urgency.
That's what we did over the pandemic and lockdown, is we put shows in the can. Colleen's like, we're not going anywhere. Let's just start. And we would have
we might as well. But we really want season 2 to be about just empowering women and loving midlife and what we've learned and what we can take away from it. And so, gosh, we're so excited to start with you.
I know. We're going to start with you.
Yes. I mean, listen, you said it best. It's midlife. There's another half to go.
Exactly.
It's a whole nother half. It's not nothing. Be brave. I think that's really what I've decided. If you want to take that trip, take that trip. If you want to move. You can always move back. I don't know, just try and be as brave as you can.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful.
That's just awesome. Thank you so much for coming on this show.
Thank you. We're so excited.
Yes. Oh gosh, I can't even tell you how excited we are to put this one out.
Yeah.
Oh,
and please come back on the show again.
Yes.
We would love.
Seriously, anytime you have you know where I am.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Actually. I have your.
And when we can travel again, I want to go to that farm too. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's worth a trip upstate. It is life-changing.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for coming on. We're going to stay on, but thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Well, I'm just at a loss because I'm so excited that we had Mindy Cohn on for our first season, or not first season. It's our second season.
This is probably going to be on YouTube, and I'm dancing.
And Colleen's dancing, and I was taking my jacket off earlier because I was cold, then I got hot flash. I didn't get a bad hot flash. I just got too hot. I had to take it off.
It's the sun.
It's my lamp.
It's your sun.
It's my rectangle sun with a string.
There you go.
Yeah. So it just made me think, when I was a kindergarten teacher, when my students would draw, they always drew the sun with a face and sunglasses. I don't know why. Why does the sun need
You should
sunglasses?
put sunglasses on that lamp.
They always would draw them with sunglasses. They were so cute.
They're shades.
Doesn't make me want to be a teacher though anymore. No. But
Mrs. Garrett.
But
Mrs.
I told her that I was Mrs. Garrett. I was a teacher and I was Mrs. Garrett.
I never put 2 and 2 together to even think of that.
Oh my goodness. The first time a child said Mrs. Garrett, Edna Garrett, Charlotte Ray came right into my head. Like
You channeled Charlotte Ray.
I did. So there I was. Yeah, but I just was so thrilled to talk to Mindy, and we would love to have her back.
Anytime.
Yes, anytime. Just how gracious she is, and I just can't thank her enough for it. And please make sure you watch that movie. Watch A Nice Girl Like Me, because she's in it. She plays the violin in it. I used to play the violin. We have so much in common. I don't know if she really played violin.
She's got to be your best friend now. Oh, no, wait.
That's right.
Oh, wait, I might knock her over for that one.
Yeah. I didn't even ask her if she really played violin or not, but anyway.
Again, why? These are all reasons why she needs to come back.
That's right. Those questions were not answered, and we must know. Oh, so we're just, we're
kind of riding the high of talking to Mindy Cohn.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
And so I got to go brag to all my sisters in a minute. And we have a family group me, and I didn't really tell a lot of other people.
Well, yeah, we wanted to make sure
that it worked, that it went through. Yeah.
And of course, yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The day of the taping, the day that we taped this was the day that Zoom had an outage. And I know I was like kind of freaking out because I went,
no.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding, of all days? But it worked for us. So
yes. And she was so gracious. I'm sure she would have rescheduled.
Oh,
but we didn't want anything to come between us and Mindy. We did not want that to happen. Oh gosh. Well, make sure to click that subscribe button, because this season is going to be awesome, and you do not want to miss a single episode of our podcast. And make sure to tune in, and again, share your thoughts, your feelings, we'd love to know your thoughts on this episode. So hotflashescooltopics@gmail.com. Let us know. And I guess we will be talking to you, because you never know who we're going to bring next time.
That's right.
We'll be talking to you next week. Take care.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.